Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very nice pink grapefruit juice with juicy bits. Very nice indeed. And why is that guy injured but has not gone to get themselves healed up? Interesting. Anyway, in the previous episode of Prison Architect, we had slowed the pace a little bit. A lot of that was deliberate because of the lack of funds and, well, the problem with bank loans. We'll come to that in but a moment. But also, we had a lull in the amount of fights, outbreaks, and quite frankly, hideous amounts of deaths in the canteen. I think most of that is due to meeting people's needs and having the gang leaders and second-in-commands in their own little sort of cell block over here. That means they can't do planning and things like that. We still have quite a number of gang members in the facility, 16 red, 5 green, 7 blue, but no leaders for the latter two colours. But there you are. Danger level is increasing, which is curious. I have recently searched. Since our last episode, I've basically advanced time by about 3 or 4 days. That was to make sure that everything was still functioning fine. And okay, the mayor's calling. An incident in another facility has highlighted potential issues with the security checks that come into visitation. It wants me to remove all visitation in the next 12 hours. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to do that, which is a little bit problematic, but there you go. We now have that removed, which means, yeah, we are not going to get fined a lot. So, as I was saying, yes, we've advanced time by several days to get more funds to make sure it didn't kick off and see if everything functions fine. And indeed it does. I've had no major incidents. There's still 1 or 2 people that have kicked off. We know the usual ones, but that's fine. And we do have a little bit of a problem, however. If we go over to our reports and to our grants here, we have 3 grants on the go, and also the main thing is the bank loan at the bottom. Current bank loan is 0, so I have paid that off, and the credit rating is 1.0, so we did get our credit rating into the positive rating. Previously it was like minus 8.5 because we missed one of those payments. However, apparently if you miss one payment, you're stuck, and that's it. You can't get any loans. It even says there, after you make regular payments, your credit rating will increase and the bank will allow you to borrow more. However, if you miss payments, your credit rating will be decimated, it says, and your bank will refuse to lend you more when you need it. I would have thought that if our credit rating gets back to positive, you would have been able to pick this up, but apparently not. So that means we are on limited funds when it comes to expansion. However, speaking of that, we're going to buy the land to the south, because that's what we're going to do in this episode. We do have the ability to sell, how many more shares? 20% more of our shares, so we still can get about another 60 grand worth. I think that should be alright. Anyway, let's go over to dismantle objects, and I want to obviously get rid of all of these trees. Can I get there? There we go. So, getting rid of a lot of these trees. This will provide us with ample money as well for potential expansion, and obviously we need to plan off exactly what we're going to what we're going to build in the subsequent episodes, especially when it comes to, let's say, this expansion here. And why is it danger level slowly going up? Is it a needs thing? Let me have a quick look at needs. We have a couple of needs that are not being overly fulfilled. That guy's shouting for luxuries while eating bacon. That guy's not shouting about luxuries, but is happy with 2 bowls of porridge by the look of it. Yeah, it seems to be porridge and bacon is on the menu today. Oh no, there's actually some green stuff there. Yeah, it's just cooked ingredients. It doesn't say what it is, it's just something. Anyway, I'm going to speed up to max speed while the guys go and get fed, essentially. And then down here, obviously, we need to sort of a couple of things out. We have our door servos here, and I don't know if I've actually got those connected. Let me just double check. Yes, they are connected, that's fine. But most likely, this and this, I'm just going to open up to the bottom without having doors on there. I don't really see much of a problem. Or if we do have doors, I'll actually, I'll probably keep the doors on, but I'll just lock them open. It means we can shut the traversal off if required. So in terms of this southern bit here, we have many options that we can go for. Now, naturally, we will still have to have a building that goes all the way around the outside, following the same sort of size, just so we remove that contraband that's been thrown in. The problem, however, is what do I put here? Now, originally I did mention about workshops. However, because of the nature of the facility, it being high risk and obviously gang members, we have not many people who are overly interested. Let me find programs here. Workshop Safety Induction 2 are interested. So if I build a standard size workshop, which can have 20 prisoners working, yeah, we're not exactly up to capacity, are we? So it's probably best if we don't build a massive workshop. My intention is most likely just to build 2 more of these cell blocks. I think that's most likely what we'll end up doing. But let's just see how we get on here. For this southern bit here, I'm just going to double check. It is a total of 12 to the wall, and from this one it is 12 to the wall. So if we were to go from there 12, that would be right along like so. And I'm just going to, once again, double check that measurement. So from this wall to this wall it is 12. From the bottom here there to there it is 12. So that is fine. So what would be in and around here? Well, there's all manner of things we could put there. But realistically, over on the left-hand side, we're going to have a lot of the extra buildings that we currently don't have. So things like, well, most likely library. Let's have a quick look at rooms. Library we'll have in there. We can have in a workshop. That would be fine. Mail room. Yeah, that could all also go in there as well. On this side, that's the difficult part, especially down the bottom here as well. What can we have? Well, we don't actually have anymore an area that is for protective custody. That has been taken out by these guys, so I'm not sure if we're gonna do that one. Let me just double check the sizing of these things. These are a 28 by 20. So if we were to go here and say 28 by 20, would we be able to fit them in? We would be able to fit another couple of cell blocks in. That would function fine. Is that desirable? It is. It is. 28 by 20 would be there. And then 28 by 20 would be there. So that's those ones in there. However, we could probably save a bit of space by just tacking them onto this side and doing that. 28 by 20. Oh, some early release. Oh, so we should have ratings now. No, 9 prisoners being released. Fair enough. So if we were to do something like that, would that work? I mean, yeah, obviously. Pathways, let me double check that. Pathways down here, along, up here. Naturally pathways through here. And what I'd do is do that and have a yard. 2 yards, in fact. So it just leaves these buildings either side and what to do with them. There is another thing we could do. We could leave this open and have it as just a staff-only area. We don't utilise it. If we use buildings, however, we can put stuff in there. The third and final option is... It appears to be Alex is kicking off and has a gun. Now they have a taser. Strange that they dropped the taser. Good grief. They are, as you might imagine, extremely deadly. Are they going to try and break that guy out? I think they were, yeah. Just going to have to end his punishment once he gets it. He's being searched. They're not going to find a soul. Let's see. Are they going to finish searching? No, he still hasn't got a sentence. Danger level's going up because he's been... There we go. He's been punished. Now it'll hopefully go down. So there's been a couple of people taken out. A couple more armed guards. Another dog handler. There we go. So yeah, the third and final option over here would be to sort of do a bit of a hack job. And have this area down the bottom. But what we'd have to do is have it so the cells come up here and along and are right to the edge of this. So this will still be technically like walled off. I mean, it's distance 9 anyway, so it wouldn't require much distance added on top. Let's see. Yeah, would that work? Let's just try something. Gap of 2 around there. And then it is 20, isn't it? Yeah, 28 by 20. So it would be that. Where's the entrance, though? Well, it's there, isn't it? 9 and 9. And then you'd have to brick that off. And that is actually distance 12 to there. So you could do that. And this bit down the bottom is basically for staff access. Why is that danger level going up? How curious. I'm not too sure why. Not entirely sure why. There's needs that's being met. There's some recreational needs that are in critical for prisoners. Don't know why that is, but there you are. Yeah, so we could do that. We could do that, and that would mean that we have that coming across over to there, down. Let me just double check the size. 28 by 20, which is fine, yes. Naturally, we'll have to close that off and close that off. Like I said, this is just like a staff access area. Technically, we can have that come along and go along there to meet up with it, so it goes all the way around. Yeah, I mean, it can be like that. That would mean, what are the rest of these? What are the rest of these? Pathways go along like that. Pathways will come up here. Probably go along like that. And down into there. Let me just double check the walls. Yeah, I think that's correct. And then it means that we've got a building on the left and right for whatever. This is most likely going to be 3 buildings. We'll have library, mailroom, something. I'll come to the something when if we actually need to put something in there. In the centre we've got... What is that noise? That is tasers going off. There's O'Neill there who's kicking off. Someone else as well. There's a danger level is just slowly creeping up. 8 prisoners have serious complaints. 1 prisoner shackled in the cells. Recreational needs. I mean, the common room... I mean, these guys will have... That'll be O'Neill again. Yes, yes it was. Yeah, these guys in here will probably have needs here. Yeah, shouting for luxuries and such. It can't become a critical need though, luxuries. Anyway, back to this. So, what could we have around here? Well, pathways are going to go up. Okay, how about we have an area here, and I mean, do we need another yard? Not really. These guys, I know they're quite away from yards, but we basically what I want is I want this as forestry. 2 large forestry areas. But what you do is you have... Oh, that's wrong. Pathways around. So that when the forestry... The way it works is it automatically plants trees. However, if you get it wrong and close to the walls, it used to historically break the walls. Which is not something you are obviously looking for. What we'll do as well is have an entrance there, entrance there. I think that's the middle. I think I've eyeballed that correctly. Pathways will go along there and along there. And that means we can have our doors and metal detectors because there's so much contraband that get brought from that. Okay. And then it means that we can have a couple of different things going. Firstly, we want a library. We'll have a library of 10. Probably a little bit too large. Mailroom of 10. Like that. And then this will be a workshop. 14 by 8. Not large enough. Okay. I could probably shrink this down a little bit. So it's internal of 8. 1 by internal of 8. And then that's a workshop. Right. Technically, we don't also need access to that staff. Do we need staff-only access to it? Actually, yeah, because then the workers can bring the sheet metal around the back, and then when they're going to export it, goes that way. That should be fine. But I'm also tempted just to do that and have that as our workshop. That makes a bit more sense, doesn't it? And then back here, this is it's just an access corridor. It's just to fit everything in as best we can. It might have a purpose at some point. We could always even open that up and have it as, like, technically a cleaning cupboard. It's the most unorthodox cleaning cupboard I think we could possibly get. But, you know, it's not entirely a terrible idea. And then over here, this is just going to be death row. I say this will be death row. So, I'm not going to plan this off. Not exhaustive. This is death row. Security room. Most likely cells, which will be 5 by 5. You know what? 5 by 6. You don't even need this many. I mean, there's 3. And even then, it's probably overdone. You know what? Let's just shrink it down a bit. That one. That one. Remove these. He says he's not going to plan it off exhaustively. Proceeds to plan it off in an exhaustive manner. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 death row cells. You can probably guess what's at the end there. Has a cherry thing in the middle. That's death row. Okay, that's a plan. Sometimes you just need to keep working at it until something just sort of clicks. And this just seems to feel like, okay, there's only this bit around the back that I'm not too keen on. We can always make it a cleaning cupboard. It could be nothing, whatever. And this is a bit more interesting design than I've had in mind. So I'm actually perfectly okay with it. There's O'Neill there. The advantage is we've got daily cash flow. It says $6,000. It's not actually the case. The reason it's gone to 6 is because we've had all of that wood being exported. So that's why that has happened. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go for materials, brick wall, and a brick wall is going to go around. And the reason I want to do this is I want to start building one of these cell blocks. And it means if I do it this way... I wonder if O'Neill... No, we can't recruit them. It means if I put walls around it, we can have access to this, and then we don't have to worry about too many issues. Now, that's a lot of logs. I'm guessing they're spending a lot of their time escorting logs? Exporting stuff? I'm going to hire 2 more workmen. I know we sacked a couple in previous episodes, but we do need to get rid of these. So there's a lot of exports to look at. That tree needs dismantling. A couple of other things to do. So what we've done is we've sort of fulfilled the original expansion idea, which is workshop. It's fairly decently sized, but we also have our forestries, 2 of. I'm not opposed to getting rid of one of them and putting in, say, a yard. Let me know what you think about that one. In fact, let me know what you think about the design in general. I will make some time to leave feedback before the next episode recording. Obviously, if this is 6 months down the line, you know that's not going to happen. There's a tunnel, and quite... Ooh! Interesting! Okay. So there's a tunnel we found. Huh. Didn't expect it to be that size. Didn't expect to see a tunnel like that. I'll just get that removed. And then we'll speed up to max speed. But you see so far, throughout this entire episode, we've only had the odd little skirmish, and it's O'Neill. 2 L's, is it? Actually, I don't know. Is it O'Neill with 2 L's? No. Not 2 L's. By the way, I'm referencing Stargate SG-1. You know, the show that hasn't been on in over a decade. Speaking to the young crowd. Yeah, so export's good. That's fine. Logs are going out there. We've got our wall going along the outside. It's tempted, because of the money... Oh, this is curious. Oh, it doesn't matter. Extremely Wagstaff. Alex Wagstaff, extremely volatile. I should probably finish sentences verbally rather than in my head. That would probably aid in discussion and commentary and respectability. There you go. A lot of people buying magazines by the look of it. A chocolate bar, magazine, some sort of shampoo or something. Look at that shop intake. It's pretty good. Yes, but if we put in the walls and then we obviously start building... I will put in these walls as well, just so we make sure that contraband cannot be flung in. That means that we can... I mean, technically, if we wanted to, we don't even need access. We don't even need prisoner access here, do we? We could just open up a bit of wall there and build this and then put the rest of the walls in. That is highly possible and indeed probable. That's going to happen. That is going to happen. So I'm going to go to demolish walls and demolish that one there, just so the workers have a way out. And then, let's say we can build the rest of it. Alright, so we've got our plan. Whether it is a good plan or not, I do not know. Let me know what you think about that one, and may change things. Like I say, we have 2 forestry areas, potentially. We have a couple of areas for additional things, rooms-wise, that we don't have. So that would be a library, that would be a mail room, a fairly decent-sized workshop. We've got 2 cell blocks, exactly the same as these ones here. While I'm on, I am just going to triple measure that. So it's 28 by 20. So from here, it is 28 by 20. That is fine. This one will do the same. It is correct. So we have 2 of those. And then on the right hand side we have a death row facility, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 cells, followed by the chair at the bottom, and then the security room there as well. So that is all in. That is fine. And the only thing we're missing really is a protective custody area for people that come in that may have some traits that could be problematic. So we're talking snitch or ex-law enforcement, etc. It's looking like we're probably not going to bother with it. The only thing I could potentially do is shrink these forestry areas, move these up a couple of spaces, and then have it round the back here. But I'm just not... it's just something about that just doesn't sit right. So, yeah, we'll see how we get on. Even just for symmetry, I could do that as well. Make a larger one. I mean, we could always slightly redesign these to take into account the room down here. We'll just make these a little bit larger, but it's probably a bit more hassle. Anyway, let me know what you think about that one, and as always, we will go from there. That's been a bit of Prison Architect, planning off the expansion. We have 20 grand gaining, it says 6 grand, but it's more like 2.5. We have prison grading. Good. Okay, so... punishment is 2. That's pathetic. Reform is 1. That's even worse. Security is -4. That's really bad. And health is -5. That's obviously... oh no, security has gone up to -3. I mean, it's improvement, but it's still not ideal. We have a 0% reoffending rate. That's because of the ones that have been paroled early. That's... yeah, not many people have been paroled, that's why, I guess. Prison value is 310,000 generic units of currency. Daily profits, 6 grand, it says there. Here's the bad one. The bad ones. Staff fatalities, 33. Hang on, that just said 32 a second ago. Right, yeah, it's Alex, isn't it? Yeah, it certainly is. Oh! That actually, Alex is the leader, but the second in command, Vernon, was not giving up. I don't know whether they're reaching for the bacon as a weapon. It might be that crispy, but yeah, there's no second in command anymore. Put it that way. Right. End punishment just so the prison doesn't riot and burn down. But yes, back to this. Staff fatalities 33, capacity 74, deaths in custody 43. Good grief. 4 prisoners have escaped. That was right at the start. Paroled early 13 and executed / innocent 0. So, that's a bit of Prison Architect. Next episode, we'll crack on with the building here, as always. Comments in the comments. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.